The topic that we're gonna cover today is frequency polygon and its construction. This topic mainly belongs to statistics. Do you feel your stars little weak or do you stuck sometimes while constructing frequency polygon? If your answer is yes, then watch this video to be fluent in construction of frequency polygon. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim and Assalam O Alikum. This is Engineer Hira Naz from Tutoring Academy. Welcome to this session. In our past videos, we have discussed frequency table, histogram, and today we're going to talk about frequency polygon. Let's first discuss the term frequency polygon and then move toward its construction. Frequency polygon is many-sided closed figure and it is constructed by plotting frequencies against their midpoints and then joining the resultant points by means of straight lines. Frequency polygon can also be obtained by joining the midpoints of the tops of rectangles in histograms. Let's start its construction with an example which says, for the following data, make a frequency polygon, and here a data is given. So here we have to construct frequency polygon for the given data. Our first step for its construction is to take two additional groups with the same class interval size. One before the very first group and the second before the very last group. So first let us reconstruct this table here without any change. We are done with putting these values in our updated table. We are updating this table for the reason that we have to construct polygon, and polygon is always constructed between midpoints and frequencies. But here in our given data we are not given midpoints, so we are going to update this table to create the column for midpoints. Understand? As we have discussed earlier that we have to take two additional groups with the same class interval size, one before the very first class and the other after the very last class. So for the class interval size, what we have to do? We have to take the difference of class limits to know the class size. Understand? Look at the first class. Take the difference of its class intervals to know the class size. Difference of 19 and 10 is 9, means by subtracting 10 from 9, you will get 9, which means our class interval size is 9. And this is same for all the classes here. Understand? So, we come to know that our class interval size is 9. So, we have to create class here of the class interval size 9, same size for this class. Understand? So here, before 10 is always 9 and starting from 0. So here, before 10 is 9 and we know the class interval size is 10. So we can create the class size from 0 to 9 before first class. Understand? For second additional class, what we have to do? After 69, there is 70 and 70 to 79 is our last group. Understand? As after 69 we have 70 and accommodating the class interval size of 9, we can extend this up to 79. These two groups will have frequency 0. Now we can mark class boundaries for these two groups as before 0 is minus 0.5 and after 9 is 9.5. So class boundary for our first created class is minus 0.5 to 9.5. Now here before 70 is 69.5 and after 79 is 79.5. So this is our last class boundary. Now we have to calculate the midpoints. We should name this column as midpoint. Now we have to calculate the midpoints for each class, and we know midpoint is obtained by dividing the sum of upper and lower class boundary by 2. So let's do that. Minus 0.5 plus 9.5 divided by 2 will give us 4.5. Next is 9.5 plus 19.5 divided by 2 will have 14.5. Next is 19.5 plus 29.5, dividing them by 2 will get 24.5. 29.5 plus 39.5, dividing them by 2 will get 34.5. Next is 39.5 plus 49.5, dividing them by 2 will get 44.5. 49.5 plus 59.5, dividing them by 2 will get 54.5. 59.5 plus 69.5, dividing them by 2 will get 64.5. And the last one is 69.5 plus 79.5, dividing them by 2 will get 74.5. By doing that, we are done with distribution table. Understand? As we said, frequency polygon can be constructed by plotting frequencies against their midpoints. So, we use only 2 columns here for its construction. One is the midpoint column and the second one is frequency. Understand? Now we are going to construct frequency polygon. For its construction, draw 2 perpendicular lines for x and y axis. So here vertical line is for y axis and horizontal line for x axis. As we know, we always mark independent quantity along x-axis and dependent quantity along y-axis. In our distribution, midpoints is independent quantity because they are not depending upon frequency. But frequency is depending on midpoints. Understand? So mark the midpoints. Along x-axis and frequency along y-axis. Understand? So here we have midpoints. And here we have frequency. Our next step is to take a suitable scale along both axes. Understand? Look at here in the midpoint column, gap between each value is 10 as 4.5, 14.5, 24.5, 34.5, 44.5. Understand? So gap between each value is 10. So we can take the scale on x-axis with the gap of 10. Let's say our first reading is 4.5 and after that is 14.5. So mark here as 4.5. Next is 14.5. Next is 24.5. Next is 34.5. Next is 44.5. 54.5. 64.5 and the last one is 74.5. All these values are at the distance of 10 from each other. Now come to the y-axis. Look at the frequency column. Here largest value is 10. So we mark the 10 somewhere at the top of y-axis. Here we can take here scale with the gap of only 1. Understand? So starting from 0 and ending at the 10 we'll get 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. So 10 is here already marked. Understand? Now mark a point against frequency for each corresponding midpoint. Understand? So let's see here. For midpoint 4.5, frequency is 0. So here midpoint is 4.5, frequency is 0. So we can mark here point. Next you can see for 14.5 midpoint, frequency is maximum, that is 10. You can mark here like this. For next 24.5 midpoint, you have frequency 5. So you can mark here. Somewhere here is 5. So mark here 5. Next is 34.5. Frequency is 9. So this is our 9. So the point 9 lies here somewhere. Next is 44.5, frequency 6. This is 44.5 and 6 is here near the 5. Next is 54.5, 7 frequency. So you can mark here at 54, frequency is 7. So frequency is this. Next is 64.5 with the frequency 1. So 64.5 is here and frequency 1 is here. So for midpoint 74.5, our frequency is 0. So again the point lies here. At the end, join all points by means of a straight line segment. Understand? So we can join here them like this. First join first 2 points. Then with the third one. Then with fourth one. Then comes fifth one. And then sixth. And the last is 7th one. You are done with construction of frequency polygon and your frequency polygon is ready. Hope you understand frequency polygon. Still, if you feel any difficulty, drop your query in the comment section and definitely I clear your query. That's all for today. See you soon in the next video. Stay safe and healthy. Allah Hafiz.